Welcome everyone for taking the time out and joining the webinar. Today we will talk about the topic how to supercharge incident response with Progress Chef. Now, Chef is predominantly known as a configuration management tool, but with today's topic, it can appear like Chef for security. I thought it's a configuration management and a compliance scanning tool. Like you are right there, but Chef can be used for facing any security incidents as well. Let's face it, security incidents are no longer like will it happen to me kind of a question. It's like when it will happen to me kind of a question, and also how am I going to tackle uh, is the actual question that needs to be answered. So we have worked with several of our customers to utilize the speed and scale that Chef provides for their security response strategy. In this webinar, we will discuss how you can use Chef to supercharge your incident response workflows. Before I move ahead, I would like to reiterate some of the housekeeping rules. If you can't hear us, please try connecting to computer audio and not your phone audio. If you have questions, please submit them in the questions panel. We appreciate your questions and we look forward to answering them at the end of the session. So please keep them coming. And we would be recording the session and we will send you a recorded version of this webinar post the webinar. Now, moving on to the agenda, we will talk a little bit about the current state of information security and how you can use Chef to mitigate security responses. We will do a little bit deep dive into how you can automate incident response workflows, how you can mitigate security incidents in air-gapped environments. We will also talk about doing targeted remediation, controlled rollouts, and we will show you how you can ensure continuous compliance for your entire IT fleet. Towards the end of the webinar, as I mentioned earlier, we will have a dedicated Q&A session. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the speakers for today. My name is Gyanankur Ghosh, and I work as the Senior Product Marketing Manager for Progress Chef. With me, I have two of my esteemed colleagues who will be co-speakers and co-presenters for this webinar. We have Sudarshan Kaushik, who is a Senior Product Manager for Progress Chef, and we have Vamika Mahajan, who is also the Senior Product Manager for Chef. Okay, now let's get started. So the current state of information security and in the world of AI, it's actually moving from getting crazy to getting scary. Every day we are seeing new challenges in IT security. Now, there are multiple factors to this, ranging from technological advancements to rise of artificial intelligence, geopolitics, etc. Now, the scariest part is the scale at which these breaches are happening today, resulting in greater repercussions for organizations. In a in this new world, we are seeing a new CV getting a new CV coming in every 15 minutes, and it's important that you look into automation solutions to take care of your security. And there is a 17% year-on-year growth on CVs, so the number is going to be going to get more scarier, and it's not going to come down for sure. So, what is the impact of these security breaches that are happening? High impact data breaches and operational disruptions can cost a lot of money. Here are some of the examples that we have seen in recent times. Marks and Spencer suffered a cyber attack in April 2025, affecting 16.9 million customers, and it cost them around $27 million, and it disrupted their online shopping inventory with most payment data masked. The retail sector faces coordinated attacks by advanced, persistent threat groups targeting operations and data. We have also seen Capital One's breach that lasted actually 6 years from 2019 to 2025, and it impacted 106 million customers, costing $190 million value, and it occurred due to a misconfigured cloud firewall exposing sensitive personal data. The breach stemmed from a simple configuration error and lack of access controls like VPN enforcement, real time monitoring, etc. And I think in recent memory, everybody remembers the CrowdStrike event that happened in July 2024. It created a global IT outage and which disrupted airlines, banks, healthcare, retail, and the estimated costs exceeds $1 billion. Now, it's not only the cost of that you need to bear from a data breach. Sometimes it can also collapse. There are security examples where security incidents can lead to a company collapse, as seen with 23andMe's $30 million settlement and bankruptcy, KNP's closure after a ransomware attack, and Travelx's $25 million loss and business shutdown. These cases underscore the devastating financial, legal, operational fallout from cyber attacks, especially when basic security measures like multi factor authentication are absent. Now, you might be thinking that why is it so challenging? Why is it so hard? After all, DevSecOps has been around for many years. In a word, if I have to answer that question, the answer would be scale. While scale is typically associated with nodes, there are more nuances to it. Like location, today a lot of organizations are spread across multiple locations. They have a cloud deployment, they have on-prem deployment, they have edge deployments. There are hardware devices which are actually located across geographies. Then there are different operating systems like Windows system, Linux system, mainframe systems, and then there is security concerns like and security challenges like you have to give production support, you have to give life cycle support, development testing. Everything needs separate security protocols. Compliance is another big requirement where you need new and updated compliance standards like PCI, SOC, HIPAA, and location specific compliance. So to manage security at scale is a serious challenge, and that's where actually Progress Chef comes into picture. I'll now talk about a recent um, example of how Progress Chef has helped one of our customers to mitigate a incident that has happened on their networks. Obviously, for security reasons, we are not naming the customer, but a ransomware attack was orchestrated on one of our customers in the restaurant business. In response to the attack, the client's team promptly rejected the ransom demand and activated offline mode across their branches, which is a strategic measure provided by Chef. Now, Chef purged the infected servers, mitigated further compromise by halting data transmission from the branches to the data center, and repaired 36,000 nodes within 3 hours. Yes, that's the power of Chef. So, to do a deep dive on other incident management use cases that you can solve with Chef, I would like to call my colleague Vamika, who would now take over and explain more use cases of incident management. Vamika, over to you.
Thanks, Ankur. So, how to mitigate security responses with Chef? Now, before we answer that question, let me ask you one question. How long does it take for your team to respond to a security incident? In today's fast moving threat landscape, speed and preparedness are critical. So effective incident response depends on DevSecOps maturity. And at Chef, we break it down into uh, 5 steps, right? So these 5 key steps sort of help us mitigate the problems. Uh, First of all, we identify, detect the breach or anomaly. We isolate, contain the threat to prevent it from spreading laterally. Remediate the problem, apply fixes or remove malicious elements. Rejoin. Once the threat is fixed, safely bring it back online and back to the system. audit, ensure traceability, and a compliance post incident. Each of these steps can be automated and scaled using Chef's robust platform. Whether you're managing a system or a few or a thousand, Chef helps you respond quickly, consistently, and securely. Because remember, incident response is a race against time, and Chef gives you the tools to win this race. Now, when we talk about air gapped environments, we need to understand air gapped environments are networks that operate without internet access, typically found in sectors like defense, finance, and critical infrastructure, where isolation is essential for security. These setups pose unique challenges for incident response, especially when time sensitive actions like patching or rollback are needed. With Chef, however, these challenges are addressed effectively. Chef agents are pre installed on all of the nodes. Updates or jobs are securely pushed from a control plane. So that means the elimination of need for direct internet connectivity happens, right? Even in these isolated environments, Chef enables a secure and automated response. In the event of a breach, often involving malware, Chef allows you to plan and execute software updates, rollbacks, remediation workflows quickly, consistently across all effective systems. This means your team can act immediately without manual intervention and maintaining a full control and visibility, ensuring that even the most restricted environments remain resilient and compliant. So, how do we do this? We're doing this through controlled rollouts. Chef enables controlled rollouts, which are essential for deploying updates safely, reliably across your infrastructure. Instead of pushing changes all at one go, we support staged rollouts, allowing you to deploy in phases, monitor impact before proceeding. So that means you get a precise control targeting specific nodes or environments. So you can choose your attributes like your OS, location, workload, whatever you want to target, you can choose that. With conditional handoffs, you can automate next steps based on failure or success criteria, ensuring that updates continue only when it is safe. And with managed downtimes, you can schedule deployments during your low traffic periods, minimizing disruption to business. This approach helps prevent outages and ensures business continues, giving teams confidence in every rollout. So let's take an example of SSL certificate rotation and see how Chef helps us navigate through this complex problem. Chef enables you to perform on demand and scheduled certificate updates, giving you flexibility to respond quickly or plan ahead. This means whether you're deploying, renewing, revoking certificates, Chef ensures that the process is governed and traceable, while detailed logs are and success metrics for every action are available for you. So you can publish certificates to over 10,000 nodes within minutes, eliminating the need for manual coordination across the teams. This not only saves time, but it reduces the risk of any manual intervention. From a compliance standpoint, Chef provides audit ready logs. So you can demonstrate governance and security posture during reviews or audits without scrambling for evidence. In short, Chef turns certificate management into a secure, scalable, and a verifiable process, helping your team maintain trust and uptime across environments. Now, here we'll take a quick pause. A poll will come up on your screen in the vote section. You can go and vote there. It's a quick question we wanted to ask. If folks are interested in seeing the demo of managing certificates at scale using Chef. Also, at this point, I'd like to hand over to Sudarshan to walk us through some use cases on how we're using Chef for all the security incidents.
Thanks a lot, Vamika. Um, all right. Now let's get into some examples of common incident response scenarios. The most common form of security labs is the misplaced authentication mechanism like an SSH key, um, This involves keys with privileges that shouldn't exist in the first place, or keys stored in non secure locations that have gotten compromised. Let's see, face it. This is more common than all of us want to admit it. Um, Anyone can imagine the nightmare it would be to revoke specific keys from nodes or devices on a server feed manually. It is a dirty job. To begin with, it is hard to keep track of which servers have access to a key. With Courier, it is as simple as creating one single job, targeting all your devices, and revoke the key if it is present on them. It can be instantaneous. When the issue of compromise is reported, there is no need to wait, but you can act immediately. The first step to isolate is to identify. You can do that with just one chef Courier job. Let's go on to the next use case. This time it's a lot more common. This is a situation where when a CVE has been reported and a patch has to be made immediately. Think of Log4j that happened a couple of years ago. How does one know which servers have this vulnerability on them? Then go behind each one of them to apply the necessary patches. We have seen in many cases that it is actually a painful process of coordination across multiple teams and a lot of back and forth communication, maintaining multiple Excel sheets and keeping track of who is updating what patch where. With Chef, you can create a simple node list to target all these missions that match a filter criteria. For example, a very specific Ubuntu version. Then run a Courier job on those missions alone to apply the patch. What's even better is the patching can be done in 5 nodes at a time, or 10 nodes at a time, or maybe 50% of nodes at any point of time. So this way you can stagger the rollout and not have downtimes. You can also stage rollouts where you can say, apply the patch on staging nodes first, and if it's successful, go on to rolling it out on production nodes. All these examples, strategies we saw now can be performed through simple clicks on an application in the browser. There is no need to have prior coding knowledge. Yes, I'll repeat that again. There is absolutely no need to have prior coding knowledge. The aim here is to enable and empower all teams within an organization to participate in compliance. Compliance is everyone's responsibility, and we do not want any team to be a bottleneck for other teams. When necessary, anyone can act. But hey, the administrators can have full visibility and control over who performs what actions. This is where the fine-grained role-based access control that ensures administrators to provide specific access to specific actions comes into use. There is no worry about someone becoming a rogue actor here. And to top it all, Chef maintains audit logs and evidences or artifacts for all actions performed, even for multiple attempts if there is a failure. Now, talking about use cases and scenarios, I want to take a little bit of a step back. Usually, from a DevOps maturity standpoint, and from the perspective of where one starts their journey, um, we are talking about DevOps and DevSecOps, which are a little bit of a history right now. We advocate organizations to move from basic configuration management to a place of continuous compliance and continuous security. Continuous compliance is no longer a choice, but a responsibility of every person in any organization. To do this, we have a lot of capabilities that manage additional devices across any cloud or on-prem environment. You can manage all your nodes through a single pane of glass called the node management view. And you can orchestrate all your DevOps activities so that you can address ad hoc or scheduled scenarios. I want to take a moment to talk about how Chef solutions can be leveraged using a platform. It's called the Chef 360 platform. Being an early pioneer in the DevOps movement, it was only fitting that we continued our process of delivering comprehensive DevOps automation capabilities, solving for multiple large, complex use cases. And the Chef 360 platform approach aligned perfectly with our mission of building a holistic DevOps ecosystem where everything just works without needing a long list of tools to collect, correlate information, and act on incidents. Infrastructure, compliance, security, application deployment, network configuration, patching, orchestration, all of that in one ecosystem. Managing systems and devices without installing agents or with agents, supporting technically any platform, network devices, edge, cloud, SaaS, or on prem air gapped scenarios, and also ensuring desired state across different types of devices. It could be routers, switches, servers, virtual machines, or services. Our native and custom resources are pretty flexible for all types of scenarios. With that, I want to do a quick takeaway. So I want to take a moment to recall what we have spoken about now as some of the important highlights. If you are on the lookout for automation of your operations or in need to optimize your optimization or automation, Chef is your answer. Orchestration, compliance, configuration management, all using the same platform. And the platform lets you perform any action using control over three specific dimensions: when, where, what. With that, I would like to give the control back to Jnanankur.
Thank you, Sudarshan. I think that was quite a good explanation and showcase of how Chef is used by our customers to mitigate incident response. In addition to that, I'll take this opportunity to talk about an IDC report that so IDC recently conducted a survey to understand the business value that organizations receive after using Chef. IDC interviewed 5 customers who are using Chef and came up with this report independently. They even mentioned in the detailed report that there is one customer who receives value worth $22 million per year from a Chef deployment. Yes, you heard the number right, $22 million. So IDC will come up with the detailed report, and we will share that report with all the attendees very soon. There are some other findings that came up in this report, and one of the major things that you know IDC found that customers use Chef is for scalable orchestration, audit scanning, auto remediation, policy as code to enhance infrastructure management. Uh, and customers have actually increased infrastructure management efficiency by 60%. Another significant number was the customers could reduce their configuration errors by 62% and improve consistency by 16%. Chef, as you know, supports hybrid cloud environments, integrates security and compliance into DevOps pipelines, enabling faster and reliable IT operations. There are more customers stories available from Meta, Capital One, all the big companies, Fortune 500 companies. If you want to know and read more about Chef customer stories, please visit chef.io, and you can know in details how leading organizations are meeting their continuous compliance requirements for the entire IT infrastructure. With this, I would like to move to the Q&A section, Q&A part of our webinar today. Um, Let me see what are the questions that we have from the panel. Let me, please pardon, give me a
Uh,
minute. Okay.
Ankur, will you be
Yes.
reading out the questions? Okay.
Yes, yes. So there I can see there are three questions that have come. The first question is, does Chef also help with creating tasks for continuous compliance? Vamika, would you like to take that question?
Sure, sure. So yeah, Chef does help you create, jobs for continuous compliance. There are a couple of things out there that you can use for this. There's seamless content. We have premium content. There are cookbooks available in the supermarket, and of course, we've also come up with new templates that are ready-made things that you can integrate with your job orchestration that helps you implement all of this. So while this is something that's already available in the market, we sort of put layers or wrappers on it that it makes easier. So like Sudarshan talked about before, right? Go into the more no code process of making it available for everybody to use and integrate into their workflows.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vamika. There is one more question on what other examples of incident management Chef can help to solve. Sudarshan, maybe you can take this.
Yes, I would be happy to take that question. So this is one of the exciting things to talk about. Where can Chef be utilized? Sometimes it is not very apparent to understand that. So we discussed about certificate management. We discussed about SSH key management. But what we have seen Chef being used for among our customers in some of the real world scenarios is a very wide variety. We have seen customers use Chef for isolating rogue machines. Sometimes we have seen them using Chef for performing security audits and collecting reports. So when I say security audits, these can be audits that have to be performed on demand if there is an incident or if there is an audit that has been mandated, or this can be a routine compliance thing that has to be performed. Hey, we need to perform a security audit every 3 months, collect evidences, log them. That can be done through Shift 2. Um, and taking a bit of incident response on top of it, we know of many of the customers who utilize Chef for managing and stopping malicious processes. And sometimes it need not be just malicious. We have also seen customers use it for managing processes that shouldn't be taking the time that they are taking or hogging CPU or anything of that sort. Sometimes they feel that, hey, for example, there is a compliance scan or an antivirus run that's going on a machine, and hey, I can see that the database is getting slow because of that. It is very easy for you to do that on a remote manner, on demand from within Shift, to go into that machine, stop whatever process that is interfering in your business outcomes. We have seen Shift being used for fixing firewall rules. Did I just say firewall? Okay, it's firewall rules. Um, and the last thing that I can probably think of is that we have seen Chef being used for elevating or downgrading user privileges on machines on demand. So yeah, these are some of the examples that I can think of on top of my head. But hey, if you are someone who is looking for a way to solve any of the use cases that we talked about, or if you want to know more about other examples, I'm happy to have a direct conversation with you. Just drop us a note.
Yeah. So thank you, Sudarshan. You almost answered the another question that has come. That's how can one get started with Chef?
Oh, if you want to get started with Chef, talk to me now. I'll pull you in and then I'll onboard you immediately into Chef. But jokes aside, Chef has a wide variety of programs. We do have trial programs. We have ways in which we can work with you to understand what your use case is. We can set you up for success, and then our sales team can work with you to figure out what is the best way to onboard you. It doesn't matter if you want to utilize Chef for managing your fleet that's on-prem or air-gapped, or it could be SaaS. We come in all types of flavors. We have seen customers use Chef for hybrid deployments also. So we can work with you. Just let us know that you want to get started with Chef. I'm happy to sit with you and then set you up for success.
Cool. Thank you, Sudarshan. Thank you for your taking the questions. And I would like to take this opportunity to probably end this conversation and end the webinar for today. I would also like to thank everybody for giving their attention, their time, and coming to this webinar. And I would like to also thank the presenters for their time and showcasing the solution, chef solution, and talk about incident management. I hope it was really, really helpful for all the attendees. And if you need to know more about Chef, please visit chef.io. And yep, until next time, until the next webinar, please stay healthy, stay good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.